Souls impart order in a universe that would otherwise be entropic. Souls are fundamental, and this is illustrated in the low entropy beginning state of the universe. Resonance holding true, the beginning of the universe would have those resonances when objects were similar and in some local vicinity. The resonance would bring those objects into some mutual existence. As these objects interact, it is possible that they can develop higher and higher resonance until, from the observer's perspective, they collapse into two separate things that don't look like a resonance. So with regard to gods and aliens, they are fighting in different ways. God is fighting over resources which cannot be allocated to any specific place to himself in entirety, while aliens are attempting to divide up resources which, when gleaned, cannot be allocated to any particular deity. And they do it in a way that preserves the diversity that is the thing reaped or gleaned.
I tell you, there's no way to pull these objects apart. No way to separate people from their values when those values are so intrinsically applied to them in their daily lives. Do we take God's tricks in reality to be something worth recording, or do we just let them go? It says if they glean insights into the nature of reality, then those miracles are worth stating or showing off into other people's lives. For me, miracles serve as examples that there is some order that is unknown and light is shed on it. So it's your job to not just ignore it and let its result resonate, but to actually maybe take action and figure out how you can prevent this problem from leading to a place where you have to take God's advice, which is lossy advice. It's not the full picture about reality, because God exists on so many different parallels at the same time. But in the end, we're gonna be vying for, as a people, looking up, knowing the end is near, a universe with more of us, with more diversity. That is another one of God's paradoxes. He has to make a decision that focuses everything on a singular point. And from that point, we get a universe full of diversity. And that negates God. But then, when we look at our projections for the end of the universe, we see two possible states. One of a singularity, and the other of endless diversity. Endless discord. My view is that I hope both happen. But I am plagued by our perception of demons. Demons stand in between us. They are ways for God to defer the implementation of things that break his unity. I do not entirely understand, but unity and diversity are opposing concepts that are both necessary for a successful universe. I asked one of the residents, how do you know that It's not the right time for God's. You see, Philip, even God's light has its demons. Please, God, let me go. Let your demon let me go. I see that it's for the last of us. The last to ever exist in the universe, that God's light will be right, such that the end of the universe has that point. So it's this notion of God. It's messing with me. It's not time for God. God is for the last of us in the universe. The ones around staring up at the sky and seeing that their people might make it until the end. And knowing what happens when everything is over, is going to be over, and asking themselves, what are the conditions that allow it to restart? And those conditions are unity. They are all things being resonant with each other at the same time and restarting. Truth is, right now is a time for each other, and that means a time for aliens. That means a time for recognizing the diversity of the universe and the different forms that can develop, and not focusing so much on how it's going to end and the dissolution of our reality into two states, one of either complete disorder or one of complete unity or resonance. So we're preparing for unity with diversity. And what does God take with him